It's that time again. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, actually 5:05 here, a few minutes late. Another virtual happy hour. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Let's roll the open. How about it? You might have heard it a moment ago. Hey, it's time for virtual happy hour. Here we go. Roll the open. There we go. We're back. There we go. This dadgum thing drives me. I'm trying my hardest to do a great job, and dadgummit. I love this BeLive, but it's the most unintuitive piece of programming I've ever run with. And I've only done this about 100 times, and now I'm 80 times now, and I'm still having issues with it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the virtual happy hour time. Let's bring that down. Let's bring the open sign up because we are officially open. There we go. And it is, of course, let me say 5 o'clock somewhere, especially here. It's been a busy day at the Vaughn House. We've been blowing and going all day. Day 67 under this current, whatever you want to call it, having some pretzels today. On today's show, I'm going to discuss, I'm going to give you one little tidbit from my show today, my baseball show today. A small tidbit that I thought was sort of interesting. You might find interesting, especially on the heels of Memorial Day we just had. And then number two, we're going to discuss a little bit of the what was to be today, which didn't happen. We're going to discuss a little bit of a kind of exciting thing. It snuck up on me. I was kind of fired up to watch something today that actually didn't happen. It will happen on Saturday. We'll talk about that. And then again, those crazy friends of ours in Oceania have come up with perhaps a great idea, perhaps not a great idea, but an idea to maybe make the sports world and the movie world and everything else world a little better off. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. But again, let's bring you guys into me. The drill, thumbs up. I do believe I'm going. So let's go ahead and put the grabbing up as well. Virtual happy hour. And if you've never joined this, I'm going to move the chair here. Never joined this before. This is basically just to all come together and just kind of a little bit of a chat. How about that? And we will go to Mom Cam in just a moment. Let me pull up my phone to make sure I'm getting a little, in case I miss you guys. Right now the chat's a little delayed, but it will usually pop up here in just a moment. I'll be able to get to going. Actually, pull it up here on the old channel. Why it's taking so long today to pop up. Here we go. Finally popping up. There we go. All right. Link for live. Yes, link for live is up. There it is. I'll put it up for you guys. There it is. And there is the link. I probably should put that up in the countdown. I usually do. But there we go. And who did take that link? Yeah, we are live. We are live. Yep. He's not wearing, what was this now? What is this? He's not wearing what? I don't know what you're talking about, GM, but okay. All right. She did join me live. She did go into the virtual room, and she is in Indiana. She is joining us live from the lovely town of Elkhart. Good afternoon, Mom. It's Mom Cam. How you doing? Are you there? And what's going on? Hold on. Let me get to the volume. There we go. Try it again, Mom. Go ahead.
Hello there.
I got you now.
I'm here. I'm surviving pandemic paradise. Phone rings at 7 this morning, and the thing I've been waiting for 20 days finally arrived, and my technical guy was bringing it to me. It's a camera for my desktop so that I can enjoy happy hour without looking at a small screen. And and also Family Live. Hey, I'm big time now. And then 2 young men from Concord who are at IU have a business, and they came and power washed my deck, my siding, and since I live on the river and it's always moist here, you get a lot of the green grunge, and my sidewalks and my driveway. So I'm all pure today, all clean.
I believe Elkhart's their tourism motto is "Come to Elkhart, home of the green grunge."
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Let's try it again. Let's try to get the delayed laughter. Come to Elkhart, Indiana, home of the Green Grunge. There you
That's
go.
true.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
Well,
There
I
you
will let you
go.
get to everybody else. So I'm.
Hey, Mama, time for another garage wine meeting. Apparently, Connie wants you guys to go to the garage and have some wine.
Well, I'm.
Look out.
Where is she? Is she there?
I don't know.
And
Guess
by the
she's
way,
somewhere around here, somewhere in here.
cheers.
She's not here.
Cheers. Cheers to pandemic paradise. Cheers.
All right.
So I will cut away and
I'll cheers that.
You know what? I'm mad at Kevin.
One.
Kevin Lukow. He doesn't get
Why?
on here live anymore. I like his costumes sometimes.
Huh.
You
He's
get my
kind
drift?
of a Minnesota cowboy a bit, right? Yeah, I get your drift.
Oh, I like that.
All right.
I like that. However, he may be knee deep in trouble up there since they had some cops and other issues up there over the last couple of days. So anyway, you tell Kevin to get his butt on.
They've had some issues, no doubt. Yeah, I will.
Well, I'll sign off so you can enjoy everybody else. I'll be on.
Okay, love you, Mom.
Love
there you go.
You
we'll see you later.
Hugs Mom. And kisses. Bye.
There you go. Love you too. There's Mom Cam right there. She is joining us there in Indiana. There's a Connie also in Indiana. All right, back to what we'll be talking about. Well, it was Mom Cam, so that's always more important. A bit later on, I'm sure Jim will come out and tell us all about her day because she, WD-40, I believe she just posted online a few minutes ago, my lovely wife, that she has completed all of her school stuff, like grades and whatnot. I mean, again, like I mentioned on Monday, amazing what they do. These teachers who all of a sudden they got a big curveball right in the middle of the semester. Oh, by the way, you're teaching online now. That's what it's worked out to be. So hugs to Mom as well. Okay. Who, like me today, was excited for what was going to happen about an hour ago and then didn't happen? You're probably wondering, what the hell is he talking about? What is it? Just come out and spit out and say it. We were going to have our first foray back into space in some time, right? I mean, that was today. You know, they had the launch pad ready to go. Cape Canaveral was ready to go. Those familiar sights as a young man, we used to see those shots of the launch pad, and you'd see that you could see off in the distance the ocean, and you know, you're all kind of geared in. It was always one of those moments, even though we probably came to take it for granted a little bit at one point, at least growing up as a kid, it was stop down TV, whether it be in elementary school, junior high with the space shuttles, but it was always stop down TV to watch. And I remember a little bit of the Apollo missions early in this, late 60s, early 70s. I remember in a first grade kindergarten, us posting on the board, clippings from the newspaper. It was a big deal. It was front page news back in those days. It was always a stop down event. And I think at some point, and I think it became, we kind of got, it's another space shuttle launch. And I think we were all guilty of that. I was guilty of that too. Although when I moved to Florida, I lived in Jacksonville for a time, and I did spend quite a bit of time in the 90s. I would make sure that if there was going to be a launch, that I would position myself in the morning to be able to see that launch. So I think after the Challenger disaster, we sort of got a different attitude about it, and then we've kind of gotten away from the whole space thing in general, and now we're back. We're back chasing. Obviously we have the rover, the Mars rovers, and we've got these Hubble scopes, and we've got these tours of Saturn, and all this kind of stuff. And now they've got this public-private, which is very interesting too. Elon Musk, say what you may. I mean, the guy definitely is out there. He's out there. But the public-private partnership, I think, I've seen it work in sports where ballparks have been built and teams have come to town, and the public-private partnership apparently working for space. And they were going to launch today, but the weather, not so much the weather there off the coast of Florida, but it's more the weather going out in the ocean. Apparently, the way I understand this, they've got, because it's the shuttle launches, they can land that thing, in Spain or the desert or whatever, right? But these new pods are definitely geared to land splash down in the ocean. You got to have good weather, and you don't want to be landing in the middle of what was kind of a pseudo hurricane that was headed towards South Carolina. So that's the main reason they scrapped that or scrubbed it today. They'll go back, and which I found very interesting as well. If you guys think this is cool or not, but the whole, going to the space station and all catch up. But and I again, this just shows you how little I know about space, atmosphere, science in general. But I just figured, oh well, you go tomorrow, right? Yeah, you missed your flight today, you fly tomorrow, right? That's how it works, right? You're flying to Chicago and you miss your flight. Well, you go on the next flight, right? That was what I'm thinking. They'll go on the next flight to space. They'll just go tomorrow or 6 hours or whenever the clouds clear. Well, you can't really do it that way because of the orbit of the space station, the gravity of the Earth, and all these scientific things. It didn't dawn on me till the next time it was going to be all symmetrical so they could launch and dock up, and I think it was like 19 hours from launch to when they get there was going to be on Saturday. So Saturday afternoon, I believe at 3 o'clock or so Central Time, or 2 o'clock or so Central Time, 3 o'clock East Coast time, they're going to do that. So there's the green room. It's up right there. Let's see. We got some chiming in here. First mission media went to the astronauts. First mission media went to the astronauts. Yes, I remember seeing that. That's what was the movie? It's the Tom Hanks movie. They're out. The media's there when they're waiting for the Apollos to come around the backside of the moon and that rescue mission or whatever, something like that. Ryan says played at USC one year in the early 2000s. Trying back at the hotel, they pulled the bus over for a few minutes to watch a night launch. Very cool. Better than 4th of July at Buffalo Springs Lake. Yeah, I would think so. Although I love Buffalo Springs Lake, but it's yes. We have the green room has been busy now. Hold on, I gotta bring this young lady in. She is joining us from the couch in the living room. Caroline, can you hear us? Over. Are you just peace sign? You're not going to say anything? Are you on space or what are you doing? Somebody say something.
I don't know how to do this.
Well, oops. Let's try it again. Hold on. Let's try it again. All right. This is the youngest. And there we go. Caroline, what are you doing?
Hello?
Hello. Over.
I don't see you.
Are you in space?
Can you see me?
Are you not looking at the screen? I see you. Yes, you and your cool hair, sort of.
I'm not hearing anything, but I can hear you outside. So.
Well, I'm glad you checked in. What's your mom doing?
Here, Mom, look at what I'm seeing. This is what I'm literally not seeing anything.
You're fine.
Wait, we're going live to outer space, folks. We're going live to outer space.
She's showing me the broadcast because I cannot see you.
Okay. All good. That's Caroline. She is just catching a little TV right now. They're in the other room. We're going to be cooking burgers later, but it looks a little bit like, it kind of looks like she might actually be in space because it's kind of gravity and all that kind of stuff and all that good stuff.
So what are you doing?
Eating pretzels.
Do you wanna trash talk
What?
Mom?
Well, she's in the background. I hear her. Trash talk, Mom? Is she cleaning?
I still can't see you, dude. I don't know what to do, bro.
Dude! You just duded me.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Listen, do that. I got one of your buddies in the dorm. Dude, hey, dude,
This
let's
is
go
so
have some.
weird. I'm like hearing the broadcast on Mom's phone and I can't hear you, and I'm very confused right now.
Well, it's okay. It's all good. Well,
I don't know what to do.
I'm sorry you're
I
confused.
can't hear him.
Well, you and your mom go back to what you were doing, and when you figure it out, let me know, and we'll put you back on. How about that? Over.
I don't know.
She can't even hear
Do
me.
I just leave?
All right.
Love you.
Kiddo. Love you. There she goes. That's Caroline. That's my youngest. It's all good. It's all good. All good. That's all good. All good. See you. It kind of looked like she was in space a little bit, didn't it? Sort of. Anyway, Ryan. Yeah. Like talking. Actually, Caroline's really into streaming. She's into game streaming, and she and I actually have a lot in common as far as this whole, like a lot of things she's using, technology and software I'm using too, and we actually can talk the language. the language. I spent about an hour today on a sportscaster's Zoom call with a bunch of national guys, and gals in various places in the country. We're talking about social media and technology, and they're probably wondering how this old guy knows all that, and she probably does too. But it's brought us closer because all the youngsters all know social media and all the tools and all that good stuff. So good to see Jamie out there. Yeah, Ryan, I lived in Jacksonville back, obviously in the mid-'90s, and I've seen many a night flight. You go out toward the beach. Actually, I lived about 10 minutes from the beach, but you could actually go out from our porch and just look out toward the southeast and watch those launches off in the distance. Then oftentimes we go down toward Daytona and further, and you get a closer look. Daytona was about as close as you could get within you can actually go all the way down and get down to Space Coast. I've done that a couple of times too, but you can see them from there in Jacksonville. You can see them, especially at night. Not great. Now, if you drive down to Daytona, you start to see them a little better. Once you got down to Melbourne and down that direction, you really got a good view. And I saw several of them. I wish to dig up somewhere in my archives. I've got old photos of those launches, but really cool to see that stuff back in there. But anyway, they're going to launch again on Saturday, which I thought was really cool. And how about you guys? Did you folks said Orion would be in that category? Wasn't it a stop down to watch any kind of launch, especially late? It kind of, especially when the shuttles came about. When the shuttles came, because there was a little bit of lull. I don't know how many years, but we were still sitting up satellites, and we'd get the videos of that in the news. But it was a bit of a lull. There's no manned space for a couple of years. It wasn't 10 years, but for a couple of years, and boom, those space shuttles were a big deal. Of course, the Challenger disaster was a huge touching point for my college career. I remember that in school. But wasn't it a stop down for you guys? You guys are, say, 40 plus. Was that a stop down? It was for me. Yes. What are you doing?
Waiting for you to say something.
Oh, but you're just like lurking over me like you're going to hit me in the head. Back of the head. Like living in Post and Patty by DFW. Yes. Yeah, every night. Every night. There's something taking off every night. Exactly. Before I bring my wife on, I want to give this one more little item here too. Well, actually, no, I'll save it because she's here. I'll save it for.
When you pick me off.
What?
When you pick me off.
Well, yeah, because I'm not really sure what you're going to offer today because we didn't have a show prep meeting, and she just kind of shows up, and this is kind of, she's like one of my broadcast interns from last summer. She shows up at the booth and thinks she's going to go on the air. It's kind of like that. So I'm going to pull myself over. We're actually maybe a show, maybe 2 shows away from having our microphones where you can hear us better and we can hear you.
Yeah, by then all the bars will be open. And we won't need to have virtual happy hour.
Yeah, but it's still going to be like this whole deal for a while, it looks like. And I know the audio's changed a little bit on us here, so I do apologize for that. But you were cheering about something earlier. What was it you're all excited about?
I finished my last comments, which is a huge deal.
Oh, so I know what that means.
Well, we turn in grades, of course, but then we're required to write a paragraph about each boy about the whole. Oh, but I need to do them for my advisees. Dang it. Well, I thought I was done. I've got 9 more to go. I'm done with them for all my classes.
There we go. How about that? That works, right? There you go. You're done with all your classes. That's pretty exciting, I suppose.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Let's see here. Are the bars opening?
This one is.
Yeah, this one is. I believe I did read this today that let me pull this down. Well, today was what was that? What was I reading this a while ago? That they're going to be they're 25% now, and they're phase 3 is coming, which is the final phase. But I believe they're still going to have there'll still be social distancing measures from what I understand. From also, there were a couple of places this weekend. Of course, you saw it in the Ozarks and the beaches, but there were a couple of places here in Dallas where they got way too close. And there's one bar that's been shut down twice because they got too many folks. And if you saw the video of it, it looks like it looks like a Mardi Gras party. I mean, it looked ridiculous.
No, I
But,
don't understand why people are willing to take that risk. I don't get it.
let's see here. This comment, nostalgic moment. Just opened a bottle of Pinot
Pinot
Noir. It's a gift from Uncle Richard, Aunt Lib. I was going to say Richard Nixon. All right. So that's what I thought I saw a moment ago. Yes, dear people. Yeah, my aunt and uncle, great people. I miss them dearly. They are very, very great folks. And of course, oops, sorry about that. My mom mentioned we had a big family Skype. Let me move that all the way too. Family Skype. Was it Sunday week ago? Something like that.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I had a conference call today with the baseball team, and it's there's no real one size fits all thing. For
Like
what
taps.
What?
Like taps.
Taps? I don't know what that means.
Taps. That's what they're doing in taps. It's not a one size fits all opening for sports.
Okay, well, okay. Oh, you mean private schools? Okay, I got you. Yes, that's true. It is, but that's a lot. There's certain, for example, I'll use Kansas City, Kansas, as an example. The mall, there's a mall right where the ballpark is called the Legends, and over the weekend, they opened up the mall to limited traffic, 20%, I guess it was, of folks inside the store, distancing the whole 9 yards. But that the stores have been closed for the better part of a month and a half. So it was the first time the mall, which is it's an outdoor mall. The only thing they didn't open though, here's the deal, it's crazy, not crazy, but some of the restaurants there that in the mall area, there's a Jazz, which is, if you've been to Lubbock, you know about Jazz Louisiana Kitchen. It's a Lubbock place. They got one there in KC and at the Legends, and that place is open. Most of the restaurants are open, but the theater's not, obviously, because you can't. I think theaters are already having it. They're having a question of what we did. And I'm actually leading into this to something I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But there is, some of that whole, dilemma. I mean, the obviously the ballpark's closed, but the mall's open. It's just that's kind of the way it is. And I was actually we're thinking about doing a little road trip, maybe sometime in June. And I was looking at some places, and there are some places that some towns have availability for hotels, some towns don't. It just depends on where you're going. Now, this is right now. We're looking at the 27th of May, but looking mostly at New Mexico, and some parts of New Mexico are, hey, let's go. Some parts are not quite there yet. I think it's all depending on where you're at, and just every place is different. I mean, every place, every block, almost every daggum block is different. I mean, heck, the mall, we drove by the mall last night, and usually on a Monday, or what was it, last night would have been Tuesday, on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, you'd still see some cars in the parking lot outside the restaurants didn't have hardly anybody there. And the theater, where all the people park in the theater at North Park, place is a ghost town because there's no theater. So all good.
So do you consider Kentucky part of the South?
Kentucky part of the South?
Or is that Midwest?
Will not be Midwest.
Or is it like Planet Z? It's its own category.
Yeah, it's part of the Southeast Conference, so I'd give it the South, even though historically during the Civil War it was not part of the South.
Look at Max in the background trying to get on their show.
Let him out.
And the kitty, I should let him out.
But I've always kind of thought of them as more of a fringe state, kind of like, I guess I think Missouri falls in that category too. It's not really southern, it's not really northern. I've always thought Missouri and Kentucky sort of the same thing, but a lot of folks say the same thing about Texas, that it's not really south. It's kind of not really southwest. It's kind of Texas. So it's a little of that too. Kevin, Connie, Cammie, Mom. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. I was actually looking at Ruidoso, Mom, to be exact. And there you go. There's the virtual green room as well. Kevin saying, did you ask if they reopened Jack in the Box Pro? I did not ask, but Kevin and I did do the Jack in the Box run. I believe the drive-throughs there at the Legends Mall area, they were open. There's a Macca's there. There's a
Panda Express, Taco Bueno.
Bueno's not open. They went out of business there.
What?
Yes, it's not open, and there's no Sonic.
You can't go back to Kansas.
There's a Sonic down in
There's
Bonner
no Taco
Springs.
Bueno for real?
Yeah, I don't know where you've been with that, but yeah, you can.
Did you talk about that at some point?
Months ago, we talked about this probably in December or somewhere. Remember, I told you when I went to Kansas City, it wasn't open.
That's terrible.
Well, I mean, you got to do a better job what they were doing. They couldn't even, I mean, the drive-through looked like it'd been, carpet bombed. It was, concrete was all tore up and they had
Yeah.
weeds everywhere. You're not going to take care of business. I can't, you're not going to at least make it look like you want to go there. You can't expect folks to go there. Yes, I'm disappointed because Taco Bell blows, but what are you going to do? There'll be no endorsement there. Let's see here. Yeah, Mom, yes, Ruidoso. Kentucky is not, see, it's not south. Though it's okay, West Virginia, Kentucky, Missouri, they're all, I would consider them rural country type places, but they're not south. I mean, I lived in West Virginia, and West Virginia may have some of the most country type places and scenery, and it's beautiful. But and then some folks sound very southern there. They sound very, very, but they're not really a southern. They're not really considered southern. It's a fringe, I guess, but they're not Midwest. Although across the river from Huntington, West Virginia, is Ohio. I mean, you're right there, and Ohio is considered being in the Midwest, but West Virginia.
Yeah, and Tennessee, on the other end of it, it's the
The
South.
South.
It's somewhere stuck in the middle.
Cincinnati is technically the Midwest, but across the river in Covington, where the airport is in Cincinnati, is actually the South. Not the South. I mean the fringe, right? And Missouri, because Kansas is not the South; it's the Midwest. But Missouri seems like to me it's kind of a fringe place. You've got your.
Is this an SEC school? No, it's not.
Well, Missouri is, yes.
Yeah.
But Kansas is. I mean, I think of Kansas, I think of waving grain, and I think of the Midwest. And the Midwest is a huge swath from that area. I mean, really, you get right down to it. If you want to, what would Pennsylvania be? Parts of Pennsylvania be
Northeast.
So it's Northeast. I mean, you would go to Penn State, but it's just, I think Ohio going
The
one
Delaware
direction,
Valley.
Ohio going west would be but again, you get south. And I've always thought, just from a historical standpoint, I think Ryan's right. Kentucky it'd be more fringe. I think it's more of a fringe state. Mom says, even Southern Indiana is, yes. Again, Southern Indiana,
Definitely not the South.
Kentucky, but it's not. It's Midwest, but the people there do sound. I've been down to Louisville, and right across the river is Indiana, and they sound like they're from the South. Kentucky, West Virginia, they sound like they're from the South.
Maybe it's just rural people sound Southern because we have more rural.
Yeah, yes and no. Although I don't know, I've always wondered because in California, outside of Bakersfield and some folks in Fresno, most of the folks in California all sound like general American speech, even the folks in the rural. But I don't know. That's a really interesting conversation. Very, let's see here. Minnesota is north. It's East Russia. It's not north. It's very funny.
East Russia. I like that.
Boy, tough times up there for the folks on the headlines. Boy, I don't want to get into that necessarily today, but
yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
I want to just say this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. Well, hold on before you start yowling because we're going to probably. I don't want to get into it, but I had a dear friend of mine, I'll remain nameless today, who had a post about that whole deal, and all I can do is just, I can't believe.
You gotta do better as people.
I can't believe that you. How do we do that? How do we do that bad? How do we people that are put in charge that bad? I don't get it. And how can, it's one thing for, I guess that got me, and you can chime in here. It's one thing for one person, to maybe be bad, but to have three others be bad with them, and just stand there and go.
Nobody had the courage to call them out and say, "Stop
terrible.
it! You have no business doing
It's
what you're
terrible.
doing."
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of issues up there in the Twin Cities. Although, and I even heard, anyway, I don't want to get into that. Let's see here. What else we got here? Kevin, that was Daddy's favorite. Yes, it was. Jack in the Box was the Swinging Blades.
I love their tacos.
When I was a kid, it was the old Jack in the Box used to have, and Mom, you may remember this. They had these little figurines, these little, they were flexible rubber little figurines that had like,
I have a box too.
yeah, they had these little figurines. They're flexible, and they basically were rubber with the whatever makes a twist tie, those little twist tie metal things. That's what they were. They were the twist tie metal was inside these little rubber figurines. They had an onion ring guy. They had the Jack in the Box, and they gave these away at the drive-through, circa 1974-ish, somewhere in there,
I
75.
wasn't alive.
And you would get the meal with the with the Jumbo Jack Jr. or whatever the heck it was. And it came to, you guys remember this? Because the Big Mac came like this too. The Big Mac used to come with a cardboard little circle around it. You guys remember that? Well, the Jumbo Jack Jr. and the Jumbo Jack came with a little piece of paper like that wrapped. It was like a little, I don't know, a little disc that the burger fit into to kind of hold it in. You guys remember that, or am I just so old that?
You're so old.
Okay, all right, all good. My mom says those are probably in the basement. So
Yeah, it's time for you to purge.
well, I'm not going to be purging up there anytime soon.
Needs to purge.
Let's see here. Mom chimes in. Sam had a player from Concord from Southern Indiana. He had a Confederate flag on his truck. What?
That's not good either.
Sam told him aside to me, yeah, oh, okay, remove it. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably not a good idea.
Not so sure mom wants to throw that kid under the bus today, but okay. Yes, I do remember that story now. Sam did. My brother Sam took him aside and said, you might want to take that off your truck.
It
And he was
might be a good
Southern
idea.
Indiana. Pray for everyone pray for Minneapolis. Everyone, don't let folks. Yes, exactly. Hey, you know, Ryan, you know this. There are
Good and bad people everywhere.
there are a lot of bad folks in Texas. Most of them reside in Austin, but there are a lot of bad folks in what?
Kitty's getting sick.
Well,
over
okay,
there.
well, that's not something we want to film. She wants to yak up the grass. That's her own business. We're not going to film that for the folks. But yeah, there are a lot of even bad folks in Texas, Ryan. Most of them live in Austin, as I've noted before. Ricky, hey brother, how you doing? Good to see you out there. And hope. Let's see here. Kevin in the Twin Cities says nothing great about Minnesota anymore. Even before this event, the city's a liberal-ridden cesspool. St. Paul is the place. You know, I really enjoy the Twin Cities, and I love St. Paul.
Yeah, you do.
What they've done, and I don't know if you folks have been up that way in a while.
I'm gonna leave you.
What?
I'm gonna leave you.
Wow, what's wrong? Where
Nothing.
are you going?
I'm probably gonna walk the dog.
Oh, okay. You all right? Why are you just leaving us all of a sudden? You didn't have any parting words? You just get up
No,
and.
we didn't have a broadcast meeting.
Oh, well, no, we're here. Well, I mean, I actually had this for. I had the couple cam graphic somewhere. Let's see, W40 cam. There we go. W40 cam right there. There you go. See, there you go. There you go. I didn't know you were going to get up and just leave.
Well, are you gonna do a kiss cam?
There you go. There you go. There goes the wife. She's going to walk the dog. I'll slide back over. Thanks, babe. Love you.
Love you too.
The Twin Cities. I was talking about the Twin Cities, and I had never been really until, 2014. I flew through there once. It's kind of the extent of it, but the Twin Cities is a cool place. Even my brother and his wife and kids have been up there and holidayed up there. St. Paul, though, when I first went to St. Paul, 14, it was under construction, basically. It was like construction everywhere. But since that time, they've really got a lot of that wrapped up. And downtown St. Paul is a really cool place. They got that the XL Center, I believe, where the hockey team plays the Wild. They've got the ballpark down there, right there in the Lowerton area. It's really cool, right there on the Mississippi River. Really a neat little area. So definitely a cool place. Good to see Jill out there as well. Amy as well. See you guys out there today on a real virtual happy hour. Let's see here. What do we got comment-wise coming in? I love that kid. He played football at Swanee into college, lives in Indy now. Best friend of Jason Spriggs. I don't know what I'm going to give it. Jason is my brother's former player who plays for the Bears now. I got signed with the Chicago Bears, former Packer now with the Bears, a left tackle, right tackle, backup tackle. Played at Indiana. But, oh, good. Glad you're along there. Oh, yes. Kevin, and I got to pull this. Kevin, on Friday, I'll remember to do this. I'll pull, I might be able to pull it up right now. And I always say it wrong. It's the Gitos. It's this really cool Italian place. And they got this dish. How do I describe it? It is the ultimate Italian dish that I cannot even describe. How would you describe that, Kevin? It's kind of a pizza meets sandwich meets gut blast, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. A couple of beers ago with it, and good stuff. I have to find that. Let me see if I can find that picture. Might be able to pull that up. I don't know if I've got it. Let me look real quick, Kevin. Talk amongst yourselves here. So I would have posted this on my timeline probably at some point. Let's see here. This may be it. Let's try it and see. I don't know. This may not be it. The hot Dago. I've talked about this before. I don't know if this is it or not. No, it's not it. I'm sorry. I'll find it for Friday, and maybe we'll do it Friday. I'll do the all-time best food pictures, because this thing is just the photo of it alone was a die for. Let me see if I can. Let me try one more place here. I'd have probably mobiled it. Let's see if I put it up on mobile. Upload here. Well, here's one for you, Kevin. This actually, you'll remember this picture. This is the actual day we had this said dish, and I got this picture for you. So this is the best I can do in a pinch, if I can find it for us here. Promise I can find it for us. There we go. Here we go. There's the picture. Kevin, remember, there's the photo right there. There we are, right? That's last summer right there, maybe. But you can't really see. But you can kind of see it right behind the rail there, with that big platter is like the ultimate snack. There it is. That was us last year there in St. Paul. There you go. That's the best I can do at a pinch. I tried there, Kevo. I tried, but all good. Let's see what else we got here. There it is. I'll just give you this. It's called the Hot Dago, and it is the bomb diggity. Trust me. Let's see here. Mom's garage full of your stuff. If you and Jim don't come to Indiana, we're going to have a big old garage sale. Yeah, I imagine the garage sale is probably going to happen before we get there. Unfortunately, I don't know when we get up there. See, that's the drawback of not being in Gary anymore, because I don't get up there like I used to. It sucks. But yeah, we need to get up there. I need to get up there. Yeah, I missed you guys on Saturday too as well, Kevin. Big party. Kevin had a big virtual tailgate and had the green onion brats and everything. So yeah, that was a crew there, wasn't it, mate? No doubt about it. Okay. Okay. I talked about this earlier. Everything's going to change, right? It's all going to change. No doubt about it. Yeah, Mike, we're doing double duty today too. Double dose. It's like, yeah, if you really are sick of me, well, watch me twice in a day, right? I've been on twice today. You're really sick of me, watch me twice. But I was thinking about this today, how sports are going to change and how life's going to change and all that. And how, and my motto, like I've told you guys, is just to be better. Let's be better when we come out of this thing. Let's be better at everything, whether it be our family life, our church life, our work life, whatever it is, work life, everything, skill sets, all that. And I started thinking a little bit about, what is the reality of going to an event, to a church, to a movie, to ball games, to whatever it is that you want to go out and do in public? What's it going to be like? Symphony, ballet, whatever, summer musicals, Shakespeare in the Park, whatever. And I stumbled across this in my Japanese research. I'm doing some research for next week's show on the Japanese Baseball League, which is going to start the 16th of June. And there's this, I'm just going to play it for you, okay? This is a really interesting little thing. And it's an app. Let me explain the background. It's an app that you will be able to use your phone with. They're going to sit there. If you're holed up at home and you can't cheer on your favorite team, your favorite team doesn't allow fans in, perhaps you're the hospital with a busted up leg, and there's all kinds of the reasoning is, you can't go, but it could be because they don't have fans in the stands or whatever. It's made for two reasons: A, for fans to interact even if they can't go, and B, in front of empty crowds. This is something that came up in the Japanese soccer league, and so I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. But this little app called the Remote Cheerer. Yes, the Remote Cheer. Let's go ahead and give this thing a roll. And here's the Remote Cheer for you. And let me go ahead and play it for you. I swear it's going to load. There we go.
Remote Cheerer powered by Sound UD is a system to send support remotely, made for anyone who cannot visit a venue due to responsibilities such as childcare or hospitalization, those living in distant places or overseas, or simply those who enjoy public viewing or live streaming at home, possible by using a device such as a smartphone. Even during games played behind closed doors or games with a small audience, by using this application, fans can send their support from their homes directly to the stadium. Existing speakers in the stadium can be used, and a more realistic atmosphere can be created through placing dedicated speakers on audience seats. When watching TV or a stream online, viewers can tap to send applause, cheers, jeers, claps, and so on to the venue for different situations, such as for goals. Cheers can also be customized based on the competition or event. Depending on the number of people and the number of times the buttons are tapped, the volume and excitement will increase. Viewers can also clap freely along with chants.
I think you guys get the idea, right? So that's the app, okay? I mean, they don't tell you this until you start watching a little bit further. Yes, it makes sense for if you're holed up at home, but if you saw those speakers in the empty stadium, the idea is if you can't go to the game and there's no fans in the game, you can sit there on your couch or whatever, and you can make noise with your phone to make crowd noise. How novel is that? Now, is that something you want to do? Now, what I understand, what I've heard and read about a little bit, that there's one thing you can't do. It doesn't allow you to personalize a message to like the umps or the referees. So if you didn't like the umps call, the referee's call, you couldn't say, push a button and say, hey, ref, you suck. You couldn't do that. But you could tap on that thing and cheer all you want to. So would that suffice for the time being? Would you be willing to, instead of piping in crowd noise, pipe that in? And could it really become a home field advantage? What if you had 60,000 folks all doing that, making noise that because I've been to some games where people don't make any noise at all. I found it interesting. I don't know if it'll take off. I think probably in Japan it'll probably fly because they have a little different fan experience in Asia as far as baseball and soccer and rugby and all that than we do in America. But I found it interesting. And would you use an app to cheer at a ball game? I mean, is that – I never even thought about it. Of course, there's a lot of things I never think about, but how off the wall crazy is that? Let's see here. Mama says she's a master dual skills wine consumption. Yes. So would you, the paying customer who are a season ticket holder of Team A or a big fan of Team A, would you get the app and would you jump on your phone and go, would you do that? I don't know. I think I would, only because if it's as real as I think it is, and then again, if they're piping all these speakers in the arena, they're going to play in piped-in crowd noise. Why not play in piped-in me pushing my buttons on my phone, cheering for my team? And what if they can take it one step further? And which is what that app shows you. The app actually kind of tells us that you can make noise with your voice and send it with the app to the arena. So you can scream, hey, go whoever. Woo! You can do that and send that. And when everybody's doing it at the same time, it could be a neat little home field advantage, perhaps. And it beats the piped-in crowd noise. Good to see you, Brother Mark. But I stumbled across that today. It intrigued me. And again, it's not something that I would ever thought of before, because all I've been hearing is crowd noise. Piping in crowd noise. Oh, no, they're going to pipe in crowd noise. That's terrible. Don't do that. But what if that crowd noise was you cheering? Let's see. Mike says, time to lay on the cheering. Could you see? Yes. Well, and that's the thing. I don't believe you can actually yell obscenities at the umpire or the team, but you could still yell, "Hey, go T-Bones." Yeah, T-Bones or defense. I don't think you could actually yell obscenities. There's a way they screen that out, from what I understand, and I didn't play the whole clip for it. I don't want to bore you the whole thing, but I found it interesting that you could pipe in a recording of you saying "Go Team," or you just press a button with giving crowd sound effects of you clapping and making noise. I found that interesting. I don't know. I don't think it's a game changer necessarily, but I'm not. I want fans there in some form or fashion. I love the idea. I think it's Iowa State's talking about where they only have season ticket holders in for football games. I'm all for that. I mean, I want fans at the events. Nothing worse was watching that. It was the Orioles and White Sox a few years ago. There was no one in the ballpark, and you could hear every noise of the foul ball, cling, 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 cling. You want some kind of noise. I'm not so sure I want fake crowd noise. But what if you could pipe in noise that was simulated but wasn't fake? And that's the thing. That's where I'm going with this whole deal. I'd be willing to do that. I think it's perhaps some fun technology, and maybe folks stay at home and make their noise at home, and it changes the whole fan watching experience. How many times you thrown something at the screen? We all had those. We all had the little foam bricks, right? We all had those. Throw the foam brick at the screen. I mean, your team sucks. Boom. I mean, believe me, as a Red Raider fan for football and a Cowboy fan for football, can you tell me how many times I want to double throw a foam brick at the TV? But anyway. Would also be a remote heckler, yes. See, I think we're onto something there. I think we're onto a remote fan experience. I mean, we're gonna be doing this at some point. You're gonna be sitting there in your house, watching the NFL, and gonna be playing. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get that halftime line in because I want to play that second half line. You're gonna be at some point in our lifetime, you're gonna be gambling on sports via your home computer or home device, and not getting off your couch. I mean, that's coming. Don't know when, but it's coming. You won't have to go to the casino anymore at some point. With that being said, so what happens? You can sit there. We talked about last week. We are a robot bartender. So you got your robot bartender, get your robot beer. You got your robot yourself, crowd noise, and also put the point spread down on your credit card. Never leave the couch. Never get up. And you also have the remote right there. I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, it's crazy how that can work. See, it could incorporate the beer. Yes, there you go. Here comes the beer batter, and there's a button on your phone that you press, and it's cheer for the beer batter. And maybe, when the beer batter strikes out, your virtual bartender robot gets you 2 beers instead of 1. Gotta kind of think these things outside the box. We gotta come out better, right, than we were before. So we come out with robot bartenders and virtual fan experiences able to press our button and say, "Oh, you suck." Yeah, that's all it's missing, really. Anyway, let's see. Kevin says, "I don't want the stadium to blame me snoring while watching a football game." Yeah, well, again. And maybe, Kevin, for you, when the Vikings are playing Detroit on a Sunday noon, you lean back and you want to have that virtual side of your snoring, you just press the snoring button. And when the Vikings have the ball, you can be snoring. I mean, I don't know. I can think that happened. Bring back the old Whopper chant from the old T-Bones days. We definitely need a Whopper button. Yes. There was a guy back in the day in Charleston, West Virginia, in the mid-'90s, and this guy was a congressional aide to one of the West Virginia senators and congressmen there, and he had this toast machine, right? And he sat right behind home plate. There was an outlet they had for him. They actually ran an outlet from the concession stand, ran a long orange extension cord, plugged his toaster in, and then when a guy would get 2 strikes on him, he put a piece of toast in there, and he would, if the guy struck out, boom, he'd pop that toaster up, and the whole group of fans around him would say, "You are toast. You are toast." And they'd all chant, "You are toast." And he'd throw the toast up in the air. It was a big, it was a bit. People loved it. And "You are toast." I not forget that guy's name, but yeah, something like that would definitely work, Mike. No doubt about it. All good. All good. Good to see Stephanie out there as well. Glad you guys are along in a virtual happy hour, approaching that hour mark on a Wednesday. So we discussed this and the whole fan experience, the Scuttle launch, which, by the way, I meant to tell you this too. Did you guys know this? That 60% of the time, over the course of all space launches in the United States, going back to the late 50s to now, that 60% of all launches have been delayed, mostly by weather, but almost always by weather, but not always, but mostly been delayed. But 60% of the time by weather. How about that? I would have thought it would have been a little bit lower, but yeah, that's why minor league's the best, Mike, no doubt about it. You get things like that, and in Iowa we had Dancing Bobby, and this guy that was an usher. All he would do was dance the whole time. He was fun. He was a legend. You go to the other team's ballpark, they'd say, "Hey, how's Dancing Bobby doing?" Players do Dancing Bobby. Man, he was a legend. As a matter of fact, he's in the movie Sugar. If you ever seen the movie Sugar, he's in that. Glad you're along. Yep, and Mom says she agrees with all that. One more little tidbit today. We learned this on my show at lunch. I don't know if you guys knew that. Did you guys know this? I didn't know this till my research from a couple of nights ago for the show on Wednesday. Did you know, and first off, I didn't know this. I always just assumed that the Star Spangled Banner was the national anthem from the 1800s. I didn't know. I figured the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key, the O Say Can You See, that's the national anthem. It's been like that ever since. Well, that wasn't the case. In 1918, they didn't even play any kind of anthem at all during baseball or before baseball games. Now we do it every game, baseball, football, whatever. We do it at every level, high school, junior high, whatever. We do play the anthem. But in 1918, during the World Series in 1918, the Cubs and Red Sox in Chicago in Game 1 at Old Wrigley, or the original Wrigley Field, a Navy band noticed that the crowd was kind of lethargic. Now, at the time, you had the Spanish flu, you had some riots there in Chicago. Players had to finish the season early because the draft. It was either essential work or go to the draft. World War I was raging, and we had lost a lot of men already, and that was in the headlines. And people were kind of down the dumps and trying to watch this World Series matchup. Babe Ruth was the pitcher for the Red Sox against Hippo Vaughn, my nickname from high school, just kidding. But that was the big ace matchup. But fans were sitting on their hands. They were bored. They were not enjoying the game. They just looked like a miserable lot. So in the seventh inning, when they went to that middle of the seventh, a Navy band who was there in the ballpark, they stood up and started playing the Star Spangled Banner under a new arrangement. The original arrangement was written for one instrument. It had been rearranged and for a band, and so this brass band stood up and played it. And most people knew the song. They all knew the song. It was a patriotic song, but it wasn't the national anthem. Right? But they started playing the anthem to spark folks up and get them all excited. They stood up and all put their hands up, and one player actually was on reserve duty, stood up in his cap and saluted the flag. He was a Navy guy for the Red Sox, and this all went on in Game 1. It happened every game, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. In the seventh inning, they started playing the national anthem instead of taking out the ball. But they didn't play that then either. That wasn't done until years later. I didn't know this, but now we all play the national anthem, which at the time wasn't the anthem. A few years later, it became the anthem, but it all started during a seventh inning stretch in World Series Game 1 of 1918. I had no idea. I just assumed we always stood up to the anthem in 1918. No, it wasn't always like that. I learned that today, and that was on our Wednesday's Wisdom for our show. Good to see Morgan out there. She was there on the show today as well. Anyway, glad you're along on a virtual happy hour here on a Wednesday. Patio cam. I actually give you patio cam too. Let's do that because I'll show you what the day is here in the Metroplex. A very nice day here. Temperature is in the high 80s. Let's go ahead and give you a little patio cam. Bear with me there. Talk amongst yourselves. Swiveling around there. There we go. Patio cam today. The cat's somewhere around here. She's out here somewhere. I'm going to fire the grill up here in a few minutes and do our little evening burger time and focus back to me here, folks. Here we go. There we go. Sorry about that. May have lost you there. Not you, but I lost me there. There we go. Patio cam right there as we little virtual happy hour. The idea for this whole thing was really more or less for me to kind of stay in pseudo broadcast mode too, for us to kind of chat during this crazy time. It's day 67. Yes, while we are opening up here and there, we're still not quite normal. As long as we're not quite normal, which maybe for a while we'll keep doing this a little bit. So at least another day, Friday, and maybe in the next week, we'll see. We'll keep doing this and just doing a little chatting 3 times a week at 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time. And of course, you can always join me in the virtual green room. I'd love to have you guys on. Already had my mom and Caroline on today. There you go. There's your link right there for virtual happy hour. And that's the green room. You can also go in there and check in and get you on the show. So last call for something as we're popping a little Evan Williams today. But a decent show, I think. It's not going to win any Emmys, but it's not going to go down in the history of being the worst. I think it got something here. Mom looks forward to these happy hours. I may just start doing them for you, Mom. She said she looks forward to them. We'll try to keep them coming to you. But yeah, it's been good for me as well. So all good. Anyway, got to fire the grill up here in a moment. It's getting that time. We're getting close to the 6 o'clock hour, and today we're going to roll it up and wrap it up here. I'm glad you're along wherever you watch this today, whether it be here in the Metroplex, in Kansas City, in the Twin Cities, in Lubbock, watching on replay in Australia, because it's just now 7 a.m. in the Great West, which means it's 10 a.m. in Sydney. I'm glad you guys are along on replay. I'm glad a couple of things to think about, too, coming up. I'm going to be doing, for you T-Bones fans, be playing some of the great audio games in the last 3 or 4 years in a new program coming up down the road. And then we're going to keep this thing rolling, adding some more content to it. And also, we will go and check some other items I'm working on as well. And a lot of those items you're going to be able to find coming up on my channels. And there they are right there. There are my social channels. There we go. Love to have you follow me on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. They're all right there. My Twitter is up and rolling, and then the YouTube is where you can find the cooking videos. I'm calling the cooking videos, by the way, and I'm going to try to say it right. The broadcaster can cook? Question mark. It's it's the T-Bones. We call it What's Cooking, but I'm going to call it, at least on my YouTube page, I'm calling it The Broadcaster Can Cook. That's the question mark. So that's all up right now. They're on the YouTube and, of course, Instagram at Dan Vaughn Jr. as well. Could it be worse as long as Honey Boo Boo's still on it? Thank you very much. Kind words there. I like being compared to Honey Boo Boo. And Mom says, why? With my new camera, I'm sitting to go online to meetings and adventures. Yes. I have a good camera. I've got a good camera right here as well. As there's your links right there. So with all that, I'll tell you guys goodbye for Wednesday. We'll see you on Friday, 5 o'clock. Please be safe wherever you are. And let's just love each other. Again, like I told you guys, the T-Bones today, virtual hugs, lots of love. No reason to chastise folks what they do or don't do. If they want to wear a mask, if they don't want to wear a mask, let's just try to get through this thing the best we can. I'm not here to be judge and jury. Let's just live our lives and let's try to get through this thing and come out better people in the end. So see you later on. Yes, see you later there, Connie, as well. We'll see you guys on Friday as well. Time to bring up the final closing items here, which first off is the closing song. We got that first. I mean, you put the close sign up. Let's pull this down. There we go. And glad you guys are along on a virtual happy hour. There's the famous logo by now, nearly famous, infamous logo by now. But all good. We'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Love everybody. And we'll see you guys on Friday.